balance is something easy to understand. In our world, for example, balance can mean a few different things. Either it's an even distribution of weight that keeps something upright, or it's a condition where different elements are set in equal or correct proportions. For example, 100 pounds of feathers evenly split down the middle on a scale are balanced. Then you have 1,000 pounds of feathers versus a 1,000-pound anvil, which is even. Both are the same, they are equal. The balance of the Force in Star Wars is kind of like this, but it's not something that's as simple or as easy to comprehend. The lines of the Force are fuzzy, and there are many different representations of what the balance could actually mean, especially when you put into account the Jedi, the Sith, and the Chosen One. You see, the balance is a cycle, and to bring balance to the Force means to not pollute said cycle. There will always be an imbalance of light and dark. For example, there will always be more good than bad, or bad than good. It's just inevitable. It's actually kind of like the yin and yang of Chinese literature. While the light and the dark might be opposites, it's all about the two existing together in the same space and understanding the other side will always exist and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't have light without dark. You can't have dark without light. One side might become stronger than the other, there might be more dark than light, but they will always exist, creating an imperfect but logical balance. The Jedi and the Sith do this exact thing to a T. For one time, the Republic and the Jedi ruled. For another, the Empire and the Sith ruled. One might be stronger than the other, but the latter will always exist in some way, shape, or form, like the Separatists or the Rebels, for example. However, and this is where we get into the headache-inducing part of the video, if the Force has a logical balance between light and dark, why was there a need for the Chosen One? Well, I actually think there's an answer to this that most people overlook when they're looking at Anakin. Do you remember how the Jedi would always talk about bringing balance to the Force? Do you remember the prophecy of the Chosen One and how Anakin was supposed to bring about this balance? Well, when you look at it, he did, but not in the way we and the Jedi were told. You see, the Chosen One wasn't supposed to just remove the Sith. He was also supposed to remove the Jedi Order, because the Jedi, as of the Clone Wars, had become bloated, self-interested, and had basically lost their way. The path the Jedi now took directly opposed the Jedi Code. I'll put up the scripture of the Jedi mantra so you can look it over, but the essence of the code is that they do nothing, because doing something can create emotion, and emotion leads to the dark side. In essence, they were to let bygones be bygones and let life in the galaxy choose its own path. Everything the Jedi do is through the mind and through the Force. They aren't supposed to take physical action, but as we've seen, they did so by becoming generals of an army to fight the Sith. So when it comes back to the Chosen One, when it comes back to Anakin, there are two different arguments here. You could argue that the Jedi, by losing their way and turning to the physical side of the Force, something that's native to the dark side, they created an imbalance that needed to be corrected. Thus, when Anakin eliminated the Jedi, he did in fact bring balance to the Force by removing a lost cause of the light. And if that's the case, it once again plays into the idea that the Jedi philosophy was flawed to the point that it was their downfall. However, you could believe that the Jedi just became far too bloated and the Force needed to even the playing field. So you could say that removing almost every Jedi in the galaxy returned the light and the dark to near evens. So Order 66 and Anakin's betrayal, regardless of how you look at it, actually did bring balance to the Force, but it also created an imbalance. You see, from my understanding, the Sith don't believe in a balance like the Jedi do. The Sith strive to control, they strive to corrupt and dominate. The Jedi are the exact opposite. They, at least in their own way, understand that there is a need for balance. So you could say that the Sith not believing in a balance creates the imbalance. How I look at it is like this. You can have 400 Jedi and one Sith. That one Sith could cause more damage to the natural order of things than 400 Jedi could do in one lifetime. It's like taking a scale, setting 400 feathers on one end, and then putting one anvil on the other. It creates an imbalance. By using the physical force to get an advantage in life, the Sith pollute the cycle, creating a need for balance in the Force. So, you could say the prophecy of the Chosen One is a double-edged sword. By defeating Palpatine and bringing an end to the Empire, Anakin has brought balance to the light and dark sides of the Force by removing the Jedi and the Sith as the dominant powers. So as of Episode 7, the Force was pretty balanced. You had the Sith, you had the Jedi still around, sure, but they were nowhere near as strong as they once were. They were, for once, equals. And if you want to get really technical with it, when Rey defeated Palpatine on Exegol, she defeated the last of the Sith, while the last of the Jedi fell in Episode 8. So as of post-Rise of Skywalker, the galaxy is finally freed of the Jedi and the Sith for the first time in a very, very long time. Completely, perfectly, making the balance Thanos always wanted.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Hopefully, this video made you understand the balance of the Force a bit more than when you came in, but as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding this video, Star Wars, or its lore, you can leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to read each and every one of them. Thanks for watching.